Simon Stevens. I used to watch Player Essence, but I stopped a few years ago. The guy has an attack-minded mentality where if you don't agree with what he says, or if he doesn't agree with what you say, he won't respect your opinion and call it a day. He'll call you out, and his aggressive approach in doing so basically lets loose the hounds. He rubs off negatively on his fans. Well, I think you should only rub off positively on your fans, you know what I'm saying? And as a result, you have a gang mentality that go after smaller channels and in Mikkel's case, go to the extreme. People love to throw around the word toxic these days. If you want a textbook example of what toxicity really is, spend a week or two monitoring the comments on his videos, and you'll soon find out the meaning for yourself. Player Essence is what I would call a superfan of Nintendo. Superfans are extreme and cannot take critical opinion of any kind. Such is their devotion to what they love. You'd think a fan of a child-friendly company like Nintendo would know better and set an example, but the only example he actually sets is how to not to be both as a content creator and as a person. That's kind of crazy that you would have these adult fans of something like Nintendo that get so incredibly worked up that he would go on attack of this individual like Player Essence did. I couldn't believe that when I read it. In fact, still now I'm like, what? You know, getting so worked up. I think it was, was it about Smash and whether or not it was a fighting game? So was that like the thing you got so worked up about over? Just imagine for a second being an adult and getting so worked up over something like that in a freaking Nintendo game. Yeah, so that's crazy to be like a super fan. And the thing is, when you're a super fan of something like Nintendo, or let's use, for example, I'll go into something that I was a super fan of in a minute. Well, you can be a super fan of anything. You know, you can be a super fan of a game company, a sports team, you know, a car company, certain vehicles. Like, hey, I'm a Chevy guy, I'm a Dodge guy, I'm a Ford guy. You can be super fans of anything, but what you need to also be is critical, okay? This is something sports fans are. I mean, sports fans, you know, they follow their team, but they know they're critical. You know, they're critical of the coaches of the players, the decisions people make in the games. You know, why don't we see the same kind of criticism in regards to something like Nintendo, right? It just seems like there's this cult around Nintendo I see. Many of these YouTubers will do the Nintendo Direct, and it's silly because it's kind of like, you remember the big React to craze a couple years ago on YouTube? You couldn't go anywhere. I think Angry Joe still does like React to videos. The lamest kind of video of all on YouTube is to see these people sitting down and watching trailers. Oh, wow, that seems interesting. Oh, you know, that's the lamest. Like, people actually come here, Simon, and they'll come here and they'll say something like this is not content. Okay, this is not content. No content, no. How about you make some real content, Rick? But the same people will go to one of these Nintendo Directs and just watch somebody eating popcorn or something, you know, just with their mouth agape. Oh, wow, whoa, look at that. That's not, you know, watching a freaking Nintendo Direct. And the thing about the Nintendo Direct is you can actually go to Nintendo directly and watch it. You know, or you could go to one of these channels that have the same freaking thing going on. It's just so silly to me, Simon. Isn't it silly? Yeah.